Well, up in this ring, we have the makings of a great match or two. So let's pick up Boyd Pierce.
This event 2 out of 3 called with a 45-minute time limit as Playboy Gary Hart presents from Buffalo, New York, Maniac Mark Lewin. Across the ring, 325 pounds in the red corner from New Mexico, Bruiser Brody. Your attention, please. If Bruiser Brody wins this match, then he gets Playboy Gary Hart in the ring. Your referee, Bronco Lewin.
Well, this is the match in which Gary Hart challenged Bruiser Brody, literally. He said, if you beat the Maniac, he said, I'll be there. He said, but I'm so confident that I'm going to wear my tuxedo down to the ringside. He said, I'll wear the finest tuxedo in my wardrobe just to show you that I know you can't beat Maniac Mark Lewin. And the outcome of this match will determine whether or not Gary Hart will go into the ring with Bruiser Brody with his tuxedo. Because there will not be an intermission between this match if Brody wins it. So we've got 2 out of 3 falls. Maniac Mark Lewin. And no man was ever more aptly named. Gary Hart, the man who pulls the strings on the Maniac, the man who guides him and with whom Lewin consults solely with regard to his actions in the ring or out of the ring. Now, regardless of the outcome of this match, Bruiser Brody will face the world's heavyweight champion Harley Race in the Coliseum 2 weeks from last night. Now, there will be no wrestling at the Sam Houston Coliseum next week. Shrine Circus is at the Sam Houston Coliseum, and we heartily tell you that it's a great show and you ought to see it. But on October the 19th, there will be a superb super wrestling card. And that's one you ought to see too. So Lewin trying to confuse Bruiser Brody, and Brody is just smart enough, and there is enough at stake for Bruiser Brody so that he is rightfully watching himself carefully in this match. Outside, Brody eyes Gary Hart. Brody doing the clouding, and now he's got that match opened up, and it was Gary Hart that time who tripped Bruiser Brody as he was getting into the ring and made him a victim to this attack by Maniac Mark Lewin. He gave Lewin the opening, and Lewin hung on to it. So outside we've got Brody. Brody now in danger of being walloped into that turnbuckle or the ring post, and he sure caught that one. And Lewin being urged on by Gary Hart. Again, that hand-to-hand contact between Lewin and Hart. And Gary Hart, who constantly wears a massive golden ring on his finger, transfers it to the finger of Mark Lewin, and Lewin makes use of it. Lewin with that dog-like bark of his, or whatever it is, it's a sound that seems to give him the ability to expend more energy. Now we've got Gary Hart up on the ring apron, and Gary Hart distracting referee Bronco Lubitsch, and Lewin going to work on the face of of Brody. Brody, of course, had this match quickly turned around when Gary Hart tripped him as he got into the ring. And he dropped him down to the canvas, and this gave the opportunity to Lewin to get things maneuvering for himself and to put Brody on the defensive. But Brody now starts looking around for a place to swing and finds it. And how he finds it. Brody is one of the most difficult people to handle in the wrestling game. He knows wrestling, but he just loves a two-fisted, four-footed brawl. The ubiquitous Mr. Hart outside with his grip on those fur-lined boots of Frank Brody and giving Brody just something to worry about on the outside. And again, it's Hart doing the pulling, and Brody as he gets up meets the same kind of trouble as the 5-minute mark is called, and fans are hollering now for Bruiser Brody to come back at Maniac Mark Lewin. He found his mark that time. He come up there with that boot in the solar plexus, and it was beautiful to behold. And it's Brody using those boots of his, and he knows how to do it. A massive attack as Brody moves in and sets him up. Turned him as he threw him, and Lewin comes up to, again, use that hand, and I think he's got that same object on it. We're going to have a disqualification. Maniac Martin. Well, here is Gary Hart tempting his luck just a little bit too far as the pair of them start after Bruiser Brody, and they did not win this fall. This fall goes to Bruiser Brody, and so Brody and Hart, from the time that the bell rang, have been a nemesis for Bruiser Brody. We'll be back here in a moment. Let's right now listen to this word from the studio. Up in the ring, Bruiser Brody down there recovering from the double attack by Gary Hart and by Maniac Mark Lewin. Now, regardless of how Bruiser makes out in this match, he will be battling World's Heavyweight Champion Harley Race in the final event of a sensational 9-match card here on October 19th. That's in 2 weeks. There will be no wrestling at the Sam Houston Coliseum next week, but our ticket office will be open every day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we will be open the following week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We advise you for this one to get your tickets early. We've got special events like 2 great Mexican girl wrestlers. We've got triple semifinal, Mil Mascaras against Gorgeous Gino, Jose Lothario battling Gran Marcus for the Caribbean belt, and Dusty Rhodes, the All-American Dream. The Great Dust is going to be facing the Maniac, the man you see up in that ring tonight. Those are the top events, and there are 5 great prelims. The time is running down here in this intermission between matches. Brody is 1 fall ahead, and he is trying to capitalize on this and to do something about it, and he did it even before the bell rang. And Brody is trying to recover from the double punishment, and that last blow proved that he did recover from it. And you'll see him here now, literally crawling into Maniac Mark Lewin, cutting him down to size. He doesn't have to reach up to him now. He's got him down where he wants him. And Brody comes crashing down with his 260 pounds to find his 270 pounds to find his target. Lewin being set up for, and there is Brody's driving attack with his leg. And he really laid it into Lewin, who was claiming foul. No corroboration from anybody on the foul, and Branko Lubitsch ignored his claim. And here is Lewin in trouble. He got him through the ropes and up against the ring post, and you see him now as he rips him from outside, not determined not to give him any opportunity to recover, and he is biting Mark Lewin. That's the kind of stuff that World's Heavyweight Champion Harley Race is in for here on the 19th of October. Exactly the kind of attack that Brody turned on Lewin, and I don't think that Harley Race is as genuinely tough as Mark Lewin. He may be a better wrestler, he's the world's champion, but I'm talking about innate toughness. So something was rubbed in the face of Brody, and Lewin is now trying to capitalize on it. The match swells out into the audience, and Mark Lewin being knocked down to into the aisle, and Brody has taken charge of this on the outside, even though it was Lewin who thought that outside the ring would be to his advantage. It isn't, not at this moment. And again, that's two ring posts he has crashed him into. And, well, he just found a rope underneath the ring, and we've got Maniac Mark Lewin being hog-tied in more ways than one. Brody bringing him in there, corralling him. And he's got the rope in his teeth, and he looks to me like he's doing a little calf roping here, but that rope is around the neck of Maniac Mark Lewin, and it surely can't do him any good. Now with Lewin trying that Singapore sleeper, the one that has worked so well for him in so many of his matches, and fans screaming for Brody to come out of this one and to do something about Lewin. They want to see Brody up against Hart, but they also want to see Brody come out on top in his match with the Maniac. That is, I think, their chief concern. Oh, he drove backwards that time, and Mark Lewin took a tremendous clobber in the back. A headbutt, and it had a double reaction. Maniac Mark Lewin has just again received encouraging help from Gary Hart. He's hiding that right hand where some of that help is located. Lewin is a tough cookie, but so is Bruiser Brody. Brody now caught in that corner, and so 5 minutes have gone by in this fall as Maniac Mark Lewin grabs hold of a chair and decides to use it. We've got, well, that didn't do Branko Lubitsch any good, and this isn't going to do the Maniac any good either. Here comes Bruiser Brody looking for an opportunity to land with his weight on here, and here the chair hit Lewin. The chair hit Lewin, as Brody dove into it, and there it is. This means Gary Hart is going to have to come into the ring. A tremendous uproar from this crowd here as Maniac Mark Lewin was struck with a chair that he was planning on using. Bruiser Brody wins in 2 straight falls, 1 on a disqualification, and Lewin is the loser, and so is Gary Hart, because Hart is going to find Bruiser Brody ready to take after him, and Hart is claiming the use of the chair was illegal. The chair was in the hands of Maniac Mark Lewin, and all that really happened was that Bruiser Brody dove into it, and we've got Bruiser Brody taking Hart into his own hands. Gary Hart, he's got a tuxedo on there that is resplendent in every form, but he only has part of it now as Bruiser Brody, everybody's choice to win this particular match, rips the shirt up in the back of the pants. Now he's got the coat half off and the shirt more than half off, and the ruffles are going in all directions as Brody comes ground to try to cut Gary Hart down to size, and he's going after the rest of the coat. Gary Hart in trouble as Brody comes after him, and Brody goes after his pants. Here is a slam. Brody on top. There it is, the fall, the tuxedo, the match with the Maniac. All of it goes to Bruiser Brody.